EFL report on the wit. We're recapping Sunday's games from week 8. Let's get right into it. First, the Buck and the Duck versus the Sweet 16. This is the only game that really matters for fantasy on Monday Night Football. There are a couple other games, but they need miracles for them to even come close. This one is a really close one going into tonight's game. I have Travis Kelce left, while the Buck and the Duck have my namesake. It started off slow for me. I didn't have a lot of my receivers playing left. My best guys weren't going, and it wasn't a good look. But Khalil Shakir did go, and he put up 20 points for me, which I was so happy with that. I was expecting, I don't know, 12, maybe on a good day, but 20? Yeah, we'll take that. Just to dial it back for a second, I didn't have Amon-Ra or BTJ going. I had to start Khalil Shakir, T. Higgins, and Josh Downs. And they gave me 44 points. That was huge. That set me over the edge. It was exactly what I needed and then some. And I needed every single one of those points. To play devil's advocate for the Buck and the Duck, they were missing Ashton Genty, Marvin Harrison Jr., and importantly, A.J. Brown. Not sure exactly how they would have arranged the lineup before Sunday, but still 3 big pieces that they were missing that for sure at least a couple would have started. And would have done better than 1.1 from Jordan Mason on Thursday Night Football. Horrible performance. He really hasn't been great. He's been playing a lot, but 1.1 is tough. I have a 72% win percentage. I don't buy that for a second. I don't know why it's that high. I guess he's got to outscore me by 7, and I have someone going, so I'm not buying into it. Of course, Mr. Fellenstein had to call me during work just to say he thinks it's over. He's probably going to sell the whole team. Every single time he does that to me, he wins. It's all the time. He's got some kind of jinx. I don't know what it is, but it works for him. So if he goes out and beats me and Bill just does it tonight, you know why. Moving on to 4 Digs versus the Gritty Kings. Now, this was a huge game for the Kings, who I totally believed in, and I thought they were a really good team coming into this week. I have Gritty Kings at 11, and the reason I said this is because we talked about it. That running back room is really rough for me. Jamar Chase is one. I just think he's one of the worst teams in the league right now. No offense, that's just what I'm looking at. Yeah, I don't know ball. No Nico Collins for 4 Digs, and no Monty for Gritty Kings. So definitely a couple guys missing. Nico, he's their supposed to be their 1, but hasn't been playing like it. Monty has been that solid running back 3 for him. Jack ran 22 personnel. He stuck with Goddard and Tucker Kraft in his lineup like he's Belichick with Aaron Hernandez and Rob Gronkowski. I can't believe I unironically mentioned Aaron Hernandez in a video. Well, there you go. Gritty Kings had 101 after the first slate of games. He only had 3 players remaining after that, so most of his guys did play, but still very impressive stuff. On the other hand, 4 Digs got a 40 burger from James Cook, but Dak Prescott putting up under 8 points. But with that being said, they were still only down 4 going to Sunday Night Football. You had a shot. You just needed a grinded out game from the Packers and the Steelers. But then Jack said, we're going to play some Minecraft after we finish our arts and crafts. And if you're good, I'll serve you up a plate of Kraft mac and cheese. 31.8 points from Tucker Kraft. Gritty Kings still has Patrick Mahomes left, and Mahomes boys projected to propel Gritty Kings 160 points plus. Next, we'll look at Baker Mayfield versus hanging with Mr. Hernandez. This one's rough. This is gonna be the worst game of the week. This was terrible. Baker had no ETN and would have been better off taking the Gritty Kings advice with going with 22 personnel with starting Kyle Pitts in his flex spot. 0 points from Quentin Johnson. He played less snaps than Trey Harris and wasn't targeted at all. The Chargers scored 37 points. It wasn't even a grinded out game. Just terrible. On the other side, there was no Kyron Williams and no JMO. They were both on buys. It looked promising for a second for Baker. During the 1 p.m. window, they're only down 17. With only 3 guys played for Baker, and your defense put up 20. Baker Mayfield, 5 points. Pollard with a smooth 5.8. Emeka Ibuka, 5 points. Your highest scoring player would be that Bills defense. Just a tough look. RJ Harvey on your bench. Hindsight is 2020. Had his breakout game. You probably aren't starting him anyway. You maybe play matchups with Pollard, but that's about it. Tim has Deebo Samuel left, and he didn't have a great week at all. He's not even going to crack 90. At least he's not projected to. Both these teams not projected to crack 90 points. He's got Deebo left up 5, while Baker has Butker going. Ugly wins are still wins. Next, we got Cookie Monster versus Boss Bros. Down goes Cookie Monster. Boss Bros ends the reign of terror. Cookie Monster is undefeated no more. To give Cookie Monster some grace, there was no JSN or no Devontae Adams, and still 129 points from Cookie. But Boss Bros was missing Drake London and still without Lamar Jackson. So you can't play the bye or the injury game for both these teams. I talked all that crap about Kamani Vidal, and of course, even before that Week 7 recap uploaded, he put up 21 points. Not only on Minnesota's head, not only on Cookie Monster's head, but on my head too.
That's gotta feel pretty good.
Boss Bros scored 108 points before 4 p.m. It took a massive performance, but Boss Bros takes down Cookie Monster. He's a top 5 team until proven otherwise. Taylor Park Boys versus We Want the Beer Mile. This was my game of the week. I don't regret it, but I should have accounted for the players that were going to be missing. For the Beer Mile, missing Gibbs and McBride, and Pearsall still out, forced them to start Tyler Algier, Malik Washington, and, which would ultimately be the downfall, Dalton Kincaid. A deuce from Kincaid, and Warren put up a pedestrian 8.3. It's just not going to get it done. The Taylor Park Boys chose to start Kyle Monangai with Puka on a bye, and it still even looked bad when you started Kate Otten over Mason Taylor. There were some other players that had better performances that made all the decisions look bad. And Taylor Park Boys were down pretty big going into the 4 p.m. slot. But no fear, Indiana Jones and his partner JT brought him right back with a combined 65 points. And to put the cherry on top, Chris Boswell had the beer mile, wanting monkey brains, with 20 points on Sunday Night Football. Taylor still has Xavier Worthy and the Chiefs defense left to play, while only being down 2.6 points. Lastly, Osama bin Hampton versus Justice Beaver. Justice Beaver was praised last week, more by himself, that he would have beaten almost every other team besides 2, and then you put up 70. He still has Marcus Mariota left to play, but not a great performance. Osama bin Hampton put the beat down on him. Beaver had 6 players totaling 50 points after the 1 p.m. games. Yikes. While Hampton only had 4 players going during that time, and they outscored him. Unbelievable. Hampton winning back-to-back weeks, but he's still in that 3rd spot. Not a lot else to mention here, just a good old-fashioned butt whooping. And that'll do it That'll recap the Sunday games from Week 8. Be sure to check in next week for our Week 9 recap. You've been listening to the EFL report on the Wit. So long.